everybody. This is Annie, and that's Janine, and this is Peter. And today we're visiting Hounds to Horses. Welcome to Animal Bond Academy. Yay! Yay! Today, we visit Janine Houston and her spacious property of Hounds to Horses Pet Boarding Services in Escondido, California. Janine speaks with us about socialized dog boarding and boarding for horses that are in retirement. And of course, we talk about the Zen Den. Whether you're a young dog or older, a hound or a horse, you are welcome at Hounds to Horses Pet Services.
Hi, I'm Janine Houston, and I'm the owner and top dog here at Hounds to Horses, and we've been in business since 2003. Primarily, we do dog boarding and doggy daycare here at our house, and it's a cage-free environment, so the dogs get to just kind of meander and do whatever they want. And then also, we do retired horse boarding down in the front, and so that's why it's Hounds to Horses. During the COVID-19 issues, business obviously came to a standstill for dog boarding, so we have a nice relationship with Small Breed Rescue of Southern California, and we were fostering some of their dogs. Peter is one of them that we have from them. He was pulled from one of the shelters. He's very old, we don't know, probably I'm gonna say 14-ish. He has a heart murmur. When he was brought into the shelter, you can see the scrappiness on his back end. And he had a abscessing tooth and really bad dental, so they basically removed most of his teeth. Huh, Peter? And so he gets around, but he doesn't see real well. He sees, but he doesn't see real well. So a lot of times when other dogs come up to him, he kind of tries to attack them, but he has no teeth and he weighs like 6 pounds. So, I know. So, but luckily Bear is good with little dogs and Bear doesn't mind. Then Peter tries things on him, but so it just depends on the dog mix, you know what I mean? But he is up for adoption, but he would be in the frosted face category of, you know, not too much longer. But he's welcome to stay here as long as he needs. So, Julia, which is the little black dog down here, I fostered probably 10 years ago from another group, and they had me foster her, and I fell in love, and I'm a foster failure. She just stays with us. I adopted her. So that's kind of how we got her. And then my other dog is running around somewhere, RK. But we picked him up running around in the streets. In this whole area, we have a lot of dogs that kind of get dumped on occasion and things like that. So I'm a sucker for a cute face. But we try and find them homes, obviously. And this is Bear. He's one of my boarding clients. He's one of my regulars. He's a senior dog, and he has some hip issues, but he likes to, we give him the ball, and we don't let him chase the ball now. He just kind of has the ball with him a lot of the time. So within our boarding, we do in-home boarding, but we specialize in the what we would call the lower play level to average play level dog, which would mean the smaller dogs, the senior dogs, and our daycare is specifically the Zen Den daycare, which caters to the small and elderly dogs. It's just a low-key way of getting your dog to have socialization without having them bombarded with a bunch of dogs that are just like climbing all over them. We have 3 different yards that we can separate the big and the little, and if we need to. But most of the time, we don't take 40 dogs. We only take about 6 to 8 dogs, and they can kind of just trot along and do what they want, and they can come in and out of the house all day long, and they sleep in the house with us, and that's kind of the thing. But we just prefer the senior dog, or the what we will call the Zen Den less active dog, which is hard to find in a doggy daycare area now.
I love that.
Yeah. He's a handsome boy. So This is Jake. He's my stallion, and stallions are innately they want to keep the herd together, so they tend to be a little mouthy. But he's a really good boy. He's sweet. Most of the boy horses we neuter, so they're called geldings when they're not neutered. They're still stallions. So he's 15 now. So at about 12 to 15, a horse is considered a senior. When I was growing up, horses lived till 20, 22, 24. Now they're living into the early 30s. So it helps to have them being able to walk around and things. So I'm going to put his fly. So this is Dazzle, and she's 8 years old. Today is her birthday, and she has the fancy yellow fly mask on. That's the new fly mask. And then this is her friend Hannah. Hannah is 6 years old, and these are two of our horses. We bred both. Having the horses here, and then we do the retirement horses, is really a big commitment financially and just time-wise. Horses are not like dogs. They do need to have repetition. They need to have exercise, and they'll tell you, we feed at 5 o'clock, they'll tell you if you're late. Dogs maybe aren't so, precise, but these guys will tell you what time it is. And so it is a big commitment, and I know, with the COVID stuff, I saw a lot of people, taking on dogs to keep themselves company during all of the pandemic, which was great. And I just hope that those same people will know that when they go back to work, a dog, a horse, a goat, a bunny, they're all commitments and they're live animals. And I'm hoping that we won't see what happened in 2008 when the economic downturn happened. The shelters and everybody were flooded with animals being turned in because people were losing their homes, which is tragic, but you should always have a plan or a resource for your animals, including fire. We've been evacuated here twice. In the 2014 Cocos fire, we were surrounded by fire. I belong to several horse network groups that help with fire and trailering, and we all have a plan. We all have a go bag in case that happens, because you won't have time when that happens. And it's not if, it's when. It'll happen again. And this year, with all the rain and everybody trying to maintain their yards, it's going to probably be a bad fire year. But with the dogs also, we prefer to crate train our animals. Whether you keep them in crates all the time is not the thing, but a crate should be a good thing for the dog to go in. It's not a bad thing to go in. They get rewards to go in the crates, because if you do have to go somewhere or evacuate, it's much easier when the dog is happy being in a crate than when you have to shove them in the crate and they're freaking out because of things. But animals are a responsibility, and we take that very seriously, and we hope that other people also realize the commitment that they're taking on another life that they are responsible for the long term, not until it gets old or they move or they have a child. But when you need to incorporate that animal in your life of all phases of your life, and things happen throughout your lives, and we know that too. It's happened to us, but we've always made sure that our animals were a priority. I would personally eat top ramen for the rest of my life than have my horses go without. Okay, so on their front feet they have shoes, and then we put the bell boots over them. Because they're in a turnout situation where they're just running and romping and playing, their back feet could pull their shoes off of their front feet. So to make sure that doesn't happen, lessen the chance of that happening, we put on these bell boots. And that helps them so that if their back foot does catch their front foot, you're just catching the plastic on the bell boot. The horse's hoofs are made of the same thing as their fingernails, so when they do rip off a shoe, it also rips away some of the hoof wall, and then the farrier, who is the guy who does the shoes, has a hard time tacking it back on, so we try and keep those on there. So these are some of our retirement horses. This is Chance and Mini Momo. In the background there is Rhett. Look at, yeah, Momo thinks he's the big man on campus, and look how dirty he is. But there you go. He's like, I like to roll. I like to be a dirty boy. But horses, just like people, need to walk around instead of just being in a stall. So they're in their stall for 12 hours and then they're turned out for 12 hours. So for instance, that white horse that's yawning over there, that's Lucky. He's in his stall right now and Chance is turned out, and then they'll swap at dinner time. Chance will go in his stall and Lucky will come out. So that's how we kind of do all that fun stuff. And they get fed lunch soon, so they're looking for food. Yeah. I'm actually putting back on. So this is Mini Momo. He's my mini horse, and he wears a fly mask because he's got pink pigment around his eyes, so he's very sensitive. But all of the horses who wear fly masks, this is basically like you and I wearing sunglasses, which I should have on right now. But it also keeps, they don't have opposable thumbs, so it keeps the flies out of their eyes. The flies can lay eggs inside their eyes and then they get infections and it can be really bad. So for $20, I'd rather just put a fly mask on and we take them off in the evening. And that's how that goes, huh, Momo?
So that's it for us, everybody. Thank you for joining myself and Janine and Hounds to Horses, and we'll see you next time on Animal Bond Academy. Bye.
Bye.
Looking for new ways to engage your students in humane education and the human-animal bond? Get Curriculum in Action, Multiculturalism and the Human-Animal Connection at animalbondstudies.org or cognella.com.